Hi writers and readers, I'm Christy Stratus, and today I'm going to deal with a question that fellow writer Michael J Elliott asked me, and I'm going to leave his links in the description box below. He's a great writer of thriller, dystopian horror, and other. He asked, how do you know how many minor plot flaws to leave in without overthinking too much? And he says, I don't mean major holes that would insult the reader's intelligence, but minor things a reader may question that you haven't addressed. And there is a simple answer to this. The short answer that I already gave him was that you need to seal up details like that. So if you find something that's relatively small, but it is a flaw that a reader could pick out or say, hey, that doesn't make sense, or you missed something, or how do we know that that could happen? Those are things you want to seal up. This is really just stuff that you are caulking, and as opposed to a major plot flaw that you really, or a plot hole that you really need to, that's like a whole crevice that you have to, put back together. And you can deal with that as well. But today we're just talking about the minor details. So it is important to deal with those things. Anything that you catch, whether it's minor or major, you need to try to deal with. And it's really important because you definitely don't want to see in the reviews, you don't want to see, well, there are a lot of convenient things, or this, detail was conveniently left out, or this could never happen, and so, the author didn't deal with it. So you don't want that, which means you really want to, even in one sentence or half a sentence, just seal up those little details. These are things you should not be afraid of. Even major plot holes you shouldn't be afraid of. You should really want to find them so that you can fix them and you can have a piece that nobody is going to come after criticizing these glaring details. They're really important, and if a beta reader or an editor or whoever catches something like that, it's not something to take offense to, it's not something to be upset about, it's really something where you just go in and you say, okay, how can I fix this? What would work? What would make sense? And of course, you don't want to take something small and turn it into like molehill into a mountain or anything like that. But you do want to make sure that you cover these things. And like I said, you could do just like half a sentence or a sentence just to make sure that all of these points are covered and you're not leaving yourself open to silly mistakes. That's really important to the believability of the story as well. There's no downside to this, and like I said, it's nothing to be upset about. So just think about how you can fix these kinds of things, deal with it quickly and efficiently, try to integrate it into the story. It's really important also that it doesn't come across as the author is sealing this gap. It should just be natural. And so this is the kind of thing that is really indicative of a great author, when you can go in and you can smooth that down and file it down. You do the caulk, and then you smooth it and file it to the point that you can't even tell that anything was wrong with it in the first place. That's really just a general idea of the importance of things like that. You should never leave anything, just out there to be exposed, to be criticized if you can help it. There are always going to be points that people don't like about your book, or that they criticize about your book, that they come back with negative feedback about. Some of it you should take into account, like these kinds of things, and some of it is really opinion, and usually you can tell the difference pretty easily. So I hope that helps to answer your question. I hope that helps other people who might be sort of trying to glide over those sections and say, maybe it's not such a big deal. It is a big deal. Everything's a big deal, and that's what's going to make your book rock solid, and it's really important to do that. So thank you so much for spending time with me. Let me know if you have any other questions that you'd like me to deal with, and I will see you soon.